That was just a funny moment. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
But your insecurity shined through. So now you got a problem with him.
And she clocked it. Don't be jealous.
First of all, that was hilarious. She gave her the Matumbo finger wag.
No.
No, I feel like Monica is trying to fit something round into a square hole. I don't think she likes him. I think that she likes the idea of being on this show.
Yeah.
He's already not somebody she would normally date, period.
Why even say that? She said that. Mm-hmm. Why even say that? If you're trying to build a foundation of trust and love and safety and all of the things that it takes to be in a real solid relationship, why in the first couple of days of actually physically being in this person's presence will you say, oh, well, you're not the person I would go for? Like,
I don't even understand why. I think it's mean.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary.
I think it's mean.
And unnecessarily mean, yes.
You know, because I also don't understand what would make you say that. She's really fascinating to me. And it's funny because I was thinking, while we were switching the battery, I was thinking about how, like, you know, interracial or mixed race people always say, like, you know, when I'm with the black people, I'm not black enough. When I'm with the white people, I'm not white enough. So I don't want to do too much on Steven because he is just finding out his identity. But it is so cringy because the way he speaks about blackness is as if it's inhumane. Like, if somebody said, in the same way that y'all find it so easy to claim that you're Cherokee and know nothing about Cherokee Indians, when you all and have such admiration for the fact that you're a part of this community, inversely, when we speak about, you know, blackness, I don't think it translates as that. I think it translates as this, like, oh, mind you, Cherokee Indians, you know, they try to wipe. This is a population that they try to eradicate. Let's be for real. So now you have black people who actually live in the world because you live in D.C., Maryland, and or Virginia. And you trying to tell me you don't have any kind of, like, he seems so far away from any kind of access to blackness or culture, the culture of blackness. It really makes me uncomfortable.
I think he was separated from that. I think that this is a part of his discovery, so to speak.
I guess.
And figuring it out. Because you can tell that that's probably how he grew up. Like, he didn't really grow up around the culture, around his blackness, his black side of him. Mm-hmm. And that's to no fault of his own. I mean, I'm going to be honest. With all that being said, I think Steven is a nice guy. He just gives that he's genuinely himself. He gives nice guy. He gives that he's into this process and that he wants to be married and that he wants to be in a relationship. The racial part of it is just kind of weird. That's all.
You know what, though? I think, I think you're right. I think that I can't wrap my mind around the fact that this black man didn't know he was a black man all his life, and he so obviously, to me, with my clean contacts, look like a maybe 10 black man. However, if you're raised that way,
you don't know what you don't know. Tarzan didn't know that he was raised. He wasn't a goddamn monkey. You know what I mean? He thought
he was a goddamn.
He thought
monkey.
he was an ape. You know what I mean? Like, he literally didn't know.
That's we can't blame Tarzan. That's a fact. So, and I think to that point, it does round it back for me that this is just a nice guy who's just learning about himself.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of nervous for him.
I'm nervous for him because he's more into her than she's into him. He also is in desperate need of a tan.
And I'm 100%. And I'm nervous for him because Monica seems like, especially with him discovering his new identity and everything like that, she seems like, no, I want you to be a white man. Full stop.
I can't believe this black woman.
Yeah, well, don't call her black.
This woman is black. And she's not even like, maybe not black. Like, this is a black woman. She's not even Kamala Harris.
Don't say it to her.
Like, Kamala Harris, you could dispute.
I feel like she will almost pull a, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Full stop, respect that.
I feel like I heard her say it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
she didn't say that already?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not too keen on her. But again, I do love energy where it seems like the man is more into you than you are into them. Because I just think it makes for a successful dynamic, and I will not be answering any questions on that. So for that reason, I do think, to your point, if she's in it for the reasons, it's weird. They had a conversation. And he was talking about how, like, I feel like we're really balanced. Like, I feel like you're really structured. This is when she told him to shut the hell up. When I feel like you're really structured and you'll get things done. And I kind of live in the clouds and you'll be kind of, like, able to anchor me and everything like that. And, like, anchor is my word for the day. But, like, really bring me down. And she was like, yeah. What did you think about Alex? She was like, I can't get a word in. Which... she really can't, but it was kind of weird. I
don't even agree with her on that.
Oh.
Like, I think he's a talkative person, right? But you can, the aspect of being over talked is easily remedied by talking back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a talkative person.
Yeah.
Right? If you've met my wife, especially as a stranger, she's going to talk to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just love
but
people,
she doesn't,
and I hate them at the same time.
But you can if you don't talk, she can go, right? But if you talk back, she will listen. He strikes me as the same person.
But I try not to do that. I'm really
try not to do what?
I try not to go. Like, I'm learning. This is a new thing I'm learning, y'all. I am okay with the silence.
But what I'm saying is...
So don't do me. Like, I'm just out there chatting up strangers and talking to walls and shit like that.
You are chatting up strangers.
I will chat up a stranger if they chat me up. But I'm not out chatting nobody up.
But that's my point. All you have to... He strikes me as the type where all you have to do is talk back to him. He wasn't going to... He's not... a
nice guy.
He doesn't come across as somebody who doesn't pick up cues. Right? So if you have something to say, he strikes me as the type where he'll be like, oh, like... talk back, right? When I said that I felt like he's carrying the conversations in the past, I felt like he felt like no one is talking back to me. So sometimes those people feel awkward in an empty space. So they feel like they have to fill the air.
But I also think that's a cultural thing. I think that black people are used to speaking to each other a certain way. And in her attempt to assimilate with non-blackness, she feels like it has to be this thing where, like, you speak.
Yeah.
And then I speak.
Because to me, I don't anticipate having a problem talking to Steven. I think if you have something to say to interject with, you can do it and he will allow you to interject. The time that he was talking, he felt like to me he was feeling empty air. He would say something and he would pause.
Yeah.
And she would not speak. So he would keep speak. As somebody who has been doing this stuff for a while, that's typically how it goes. If I speak, I'm going to break the wall now. If I speak and I come to a pause and it's not filled, I will continue speaking. Even if I really don't have something to say, I don't want there to be dead air.
Same. I do the same.
I don't want it to be dead. So I will continue speaking, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not looking to talk over you. I'm just looking to fill the space in real life. I'll just stop talking. But
no, me too. Like,
full stop.
I'm done.
I'm done. So
exactly.
All right. Have a good one. But if I'm on here, I'll continue speaking to fill the space. Some people feel that way in real life. They feel like I'm going to talk. When I pause and you don't interject, I'm going to continue speaking. That's what happened. We watched it happen in real time when they were in Mexico. And he kind of paused and she was like, God damn, I can't get a word in. He was like, okay. And then he stopped. That gave me, and you made a good point. You said he didn't even have a problem because he really
didn't have a problem.
And that told me he really does not have a problem letting you in. Right. You just don't have a goddamn thing to say. And he feels like he don't know what to do with his hands. So he'll keep talking.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Leo, Brittany, Nick, and Hannah. Brittany and Hannah are on two different sides of the spectrum. Some of the most fascinating people I've ever seen on television. Just really interesting personalities. And culturally, what's also more interesting is that they are the same exact person. One has just got a bigger back than the other one.
Yeah.
They really are the same exact person.
Essentially, yes.
It's really fascinating. The only difference is that as a viewer, you would believe Brittany. You would believe Brittany about her exploits over Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah's living in the past. And Brittany is living for sure in the present.
I don't know what the hell Hannah be talking about. Hannah said something to the effect of, well, I'm just not used to his looks because I'm used to dating the best looking guy in the room. In what universe? Is this the Spider-Man?
No,
like
this
the
is
alternate
the room
universe?
in Wyoming.
No.
I'm certain
I've been
you
to
are.
Wyoming. Even in Wyoming, I don't think you dating the best guy looking guy in the room. I'm going to be real with you. You know what I mean? I've spent extensive time in Wyoming. You know what I mean? Check the resume. You're not the baddest John in Wyoming.
But you're not the baddest. The thing about it is, and I just saw Hannah's take. So the reason why we're going to talk about her looks is because she talks about her looks. I want to set that up first before y'all start coming for us in the meme tech and content.
Yeah, because we're going off of stuff that
we're talking about
said.
what she said. We're just giving our opinion on what this host said, okay? This heifer, now I just saw her TikTok. Joe didn't want me to show it to him because he didn't want to see what she looks like now. He wants the surprise.
I just like to do this stuff in real time.
Yes, and it kind of caught me off guard. I'm gonna be honest. Like, and I saw this young woman a few pounds lighter, and I still don't think she a bad bitch. And I'm like, and to me, it's not even weight. I just don't think, because it's a lot of baddies, thickums. I'm a thickum and got a little weight on me. It's a lot of baddies that are thick. You're just not one of them. And I mean that with all due respect.
Not at all.
I mean that with the butterfly clip in your head. I mean that with the big Payless white boots on from, them Shein Jones that you probably can get 3 steps in. I mean it with the overall. You should, and I mean this with all due respect.
So is it pronounced Shein? I always called it Sheen. I don't really know.
I don't shop there, so I would never know.
So where'd you hear Shein from? Because
I just read it. Shein. That's it. I just read it. I've never shopped there.
I know from the kids.
It's funny because for my boutique, way back in the day, I used to have a little boutique, and I used to buy from them.
They was around back then?
So they have so many different. No, they used to be a wholesaler. So they were a wholesaler for a very long time. They had different boutiques inside of this large wholesale, I guess, warehouse kind of thing. So I would buy from certain boutiques that were under Shein. Or Shein or whatever.
Listen, y'all tell us what the pronunciation is.
Right. You know what I mean? And I did have good clothes. Shout out to Prim 925. I did have really, really good clothes, and a lot of people purchased from me. So
no, people be trying to.
I'm not going to give them too much flag because y'all might see me in the club with them
more power.
suits.
I don't really know much about it, but more power. I'm all about a discount if you know me.
Oh, we know.
So,
we know. He's Mr. Heat.
And if y'all know about some discounts on Shein or Sheen, hit me in the inbox. Let me know.
Oh my God.
I'm looking for a come up all the time.
Yes, he is, Chad.
Hannah's a terrorist. So here's my thing about Hannah. She's giving shades of the other Joan from last season.
Chelsea, who
self-imploded the same way. They have similar builds and similar personalities. It's really eerie.
But Chelsea wasn't a mean girl. Like, I feel like Hannah is a mean girl.
She was a self-saboteur, though.
Yes, she was.
In the same way?
Yes, she was.
And the wild part about it is, out of the 2 people who are in this relationship, Hannah doesn't realize that she is the least attractive one.
It is.
And it's scary.
It is so, and I love that kind of delusion and confidence. Do not get me wrong. I do kind of bang with it, but I also think first of all, she thinks she's stylish. She is not.
Where'd she get that from?
Because the just based on the way that she puts these outfits together,
it's crazy.
I really do believe she think I ate that. I really do.
No, I think so too.
Girl, you cannot, and I mean this, and I think that anything I say is going to be bad at this point. That PCOS hump in the back of your neck with that wide, you know what I mean, offensive line build. Unless you were in a homosexual relationship with the quarterback, I don't know that you was getting picked by the quarterback. And that's not even no shade to big bitches, because I think big bitches can be bad as shit. So that's not even no shade.
Did y'all hear her say? But see, that's my problem with this. She's offering this information.
She is.
Right?
and I don't believe a lick of it.
Did y'all hear her say, I'm normally, I'm used to, he said he played football, so I'm used to the big football guys. I'm normally with the quarterback. I'm normally with the baddest man in the room and blah, 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 blah. Like, she said all this stuff. So we
She
just
said all of that.
I'm like, are you serious? Because I was trying to leave you alone. I really don't want to even be speaking on, especially,
I know.
I'm not trying to get canceled. You offered this information up yourself, which is wow. It's like the John who said shit like Megan Fox. Why would you say that?
But
she was the John who said it. That's why it's crazy, because it's almost like they cast the same woman in back-to-back seasons. Like, y'all was looking for this.
What's fascinating is that I think they have an equal dose of delusion, because he also said that he looked better than.
But his delusion
he said he looked better than.
But I wouldn't
Kelce.
call his delusion equal. Because she said, because post them actually seeing each other, he just kind of retreated into himself. Like, he's just like, I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm rocking out. Listen. And then he reassured her of his attraction to him. You know what I mean? So he was like, like, I'm into you. I think you're beautiful.
Yeah,
this is after he saw her. You know what I mean? So
not like this. Go ahead, Jeff.
And I'm giving him props on that. We being honest. I'm giving him props on it. So this is after.
And then she wore them big ugly shoes. Child, did y'all see them big ugly shoes?
This is because she is trying to.
Going to say, oh yeah, I want to be a little sexy. That's why I wore heels. Is that what they call those? Are they calling those? What are those? Are they calling those heels? Is that what they're calling those?
Honestly, she had the nerve to be in the pool with him, and then in that, she was doing, commentary on the pool scene and said something to the effect of, that's when she said, well, I'm trying to get used to his looks. Like, I'm trying to get used to him not being, he presented himself as somebody else. What did you present? Do you compare yourself to Taylor Swift?
No. Not only yes, she did. And she said, men only want me. They think they want me because I'm like fun and I'm smart, but really what it ends up is that they only want me because I'm hot. And I was like temperature hot? Or like they actually described you with that word. And I mean, and it's beauty weird. Isn't the eye of the beholder. So we have to be real about this. But we also
that didn't happen.
We're also not going to pretend like there isn't and not even a universal standard of beauty that is whiteness. I mean, an overall universal standard of beauty.
We can go to your little
and you
cow.
could be and I want to be clear. This has nothing to do with her weight. She's not that good looking of a woman. She's just blonde. And this is when what's his name?
Acho.
Is she Acho? Is she good looking or is she just light skinned? This is one of those moments. Are you good looking or are you a blonde? Because the truth of the matter is you've been resting on your laurels for the reason that you've been a blonde. You got this ugly haircut with this stringy ass ponytail. And then you want us to believe that you've been out here catching quarterbacks? Maybe in the 8th grade, but like right now?
Yeah, I think my issue with it is she offered this. She put this stuff on the table.
That's my issue with it too.
Because all you had to do, it's just very odd because also in the pods, it was like this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing.
Well, I am big backed, but I'm also not.
She was trying to convince him, like, don't pick me because I'm a big John.
Yeah.
It felt like she kept saying it in the pods, like she kept trying to warn, like, I think you think, she literally said at one point, I think you think that I'm hot and skinny and I'm not. Or she said something to that effect.
Like,
and it was like
I go up and down in weight. Which
she was trying to tell them on a big New York Times Square billboard screen, like, I'm a big John. She kept alluding to it in the pods. And then she gets out of the pods and all of a sudden she's Megan Fox in her mind. And it's just really confusing because you just was trying to convince these men that you was Fiona from Shrek, and now in person you're like, oh, I'm just used to being with the baddest man in the room. And it's just like, are you on drugs?
This is not a weight thing. She thinks it's a weight thing.
Well, she brought the weight up
because she is
insecure about it.
But the truth of the matter is, you're just not like, you're an okay looking woman. Like in the spectrum of women, specifically, have you been to DC, Maryland, and Virginia? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like an area like where like the cream of the crop kind of is, like, intellectually and everything else.
But
so
even
like,
that just totally negates your whole stance there. You said dating the best looking man in the room in DC.
It can't be.
It's not happening. You're lying. You're just lying.
And I'm saying that from being like, and I also want to say this. We live on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, there is a certain appreciation for women who are just women. You know what I mean?
Period.
Whatever body you have,
Yep.
whatever. So it wouldn't be far-fetched that she wouldn't be with a quarterback or whatever the thing like that. But for us to pretend like you the hottest bitch out, enough. Because that's what you was given. Oh, men just want me for my looks. I don't believe a man. And you know what? I ain't gonna do this to you, girl. I'm not even going, because I can do this all night long.
Because we could line up. We can do a picture, we can do literally a scroll through all of the quarterbacks' wives, and none of them. I promise you.
I'm used to. Now, inversely, I think they suffer from the same amount of delusion. So I'm gonna go and get on him. This grown man told these women that he was a professional.
I don't know why he did that. Now, respectfully, let's do this. If we're speaking literally, right? Yes, you played in the professional
semi-pro.
areas, and that's really what it is.
It's semi-pro.
It's really semi-pro, right? So you can technically say that you play professional sports because you played in the CFL or the XFL or whatever.
But is that on like a...
But you fully understand that in America, you can say whatever the hell when you get to Europe and, Afghanistan and Pakistan and Japan, you can say whatever you want to say. But you are fully aware that in America, when you say, I played pro football, we think what?
The NFL.
So don't try to play us or any of the women in the pods like this, man.
It kind of...
You should say, I played in the XFL. I played arena football. I played basketball overseas. Or you got to be clear about that. You know what I mean?
And for me, the moment he said that, if I can't Google you, bro...
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Because if he would have said that and I would have known your name... I would have immediately just left and Googled.
If you didn't play in the NFL or the NBA or the MLB, don't say I played pro. Blah blah. Don't.
Yeah, say your hobby.
Just say
is I'm a kicker. You know what I mean? And I could say, oh no, in college I was a collegiate athlete. That's a big deal too.
Right, because even getting to those levels. That's something to be proud of. I'm not saying don't be proud that you played in the XFL.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
Or the CFL. I'm not saying
don't
that.
lead with that, bro.
Because
and don't lead with if you play with the NFL.
Because you know what connotation it gives. You know what I mean?
And that's the connotation we're trying to give.
But and on that, don't lead if you played in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? It's like Leo talking about how, I'm
wealthy, but nobody should know. Shh.
That's
I'm
corny.
so done. This whole group, Hannah, Nick, Leo, and Brittany, are the scraps.
It's a weirdo. Yeah,
they are the scraps.
Group is the scraps.
And I'm gonna be honest. I think in the same way that Leo and Brittany don't make it on a trip, I think Hannah and Nick, I think they threw them in there for some color. But I don't, and by color I mean delusion. But I don't actually think that they believe that this couple is going to stand the test of time. When she saw this man, he's short, which aren't most kickers. Most kickers aren't tall men, are they?
No, but we can't bury the lead when you say that Brittany and Leo don't make it on a trip.
Saying that in the same level of they don't make it on the trip for what? Because they are inauthentic. I think this is the same air of that. I just think they just want to keep them around because it gives that archetype of Chelsea in the guy.
But I think I stopped there because they didn't really say why they didn't make it on the trip, which I thought was egregious. We are surmising that they didn't make it on the trip because they are inauthentic. They
didn't make it on the trip because she didn't say I love you back. So they like, if you don't love them, don't go on the trip. Goodbye.
I think they could see that with this show in particular is unique in the fact that when you are in the pods, this is a short period of time. From all accounts, you're only in the pods for about a week. I think that most people who are in the pods are thinking this is an audition to get on the show. You're not really on the show when you're in the pods.
Yes.
Right? Because we see how they edit it afterwards, they're taking the people who are getting the airtime are people who eventually end up in relationships. So when you're in the pods and you're just single, we see people in the lounges all the time. We're like, who is that? Mm-hmm. Even it was it last season. We see the one girl. Everybody talking about the one girl. We haven't seen this girl in the pods at all. You know what I mean? And then we see her, people talking about her, and they like, oh, everybody, I forget the girl's name. Forgive me. But the whole point is, she wasn't really on. We didn't really see her. The cast knew who she was because she was gorgeous. And the girls and the guys was taking note of her. We as a viewer didn't see her because she didn't end up in a relationship. So when they showed people dating in the pods, she really didn't get camera time because she didn't end up. So I think that people feel like this is an audition, right? And so I think that we got to take that into account when we're watching these people do these things and go through these relationships, because I think even when Leo snapped on the girl, I think it was because when he snapped on Hannah, I think it was really fear.
A last ditch effort to make it on the show.
Period.
And to keep his options open. Now, the thing is, though, to move into that kind of conversation, there was like this triangle between Hannah, Nick, or I guess a square, Hannah, Nick, Brittany, Leo. They were all kind of like vying for each other's attention. Now, Nick, although delusional, seems like a nice guy.
He does. If I'm being honest, I just think.
Although delusional.
And I'm going to be honest. I gave him extra points because once he saw her, he was like, yeah.
He wasn't mean about it.
No, he was just with it. Like, let's do this. Let's go. Like, let's go. That was the Love is Blind process. You know, him being a part of the process to me.
Yes. Now, inversely, she was not as nice.
Which is wild to me.
She was not as...
Because inversely, she's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
Yeah, like he...
Are you for real?
He kind of lied about how he looked. And you
did what? Taylor Swift?
And you... Taylor Swift?
Girl, you look like you ate.
You know what?
Okay.
And that's no shade to big, bad bitches everywhere. Because we ain't talking to you, okay? There's a population of people who pontificate as if they show up in spaces. And
I just don't like that, period. You could be skinny, mini, and scrawny. I still don't want you to be like, oh, I'm Bing Rames. Like,
or
don't talk. Just be yourself.
You could be somebody who try to pretend like your money ain't supposed to be the main thing, and all you talk about is your money.
Leo,
I don't like that either, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, they all are like got the same kind of energy.
Weird.
Very weird. Very weird. Heavy on the weird. Hannah and Nick make it on the thing. They obviously screwing each other, but trying to pretend like they not for some odd reason.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the odd reason is that Nick is kind of embarrassed. Nick don't want people to know. No. I think a lot of what Nick has shown up as is a stand-up guy. You know what I mean? He's a part of the process, whoop-de-whoop. But I think everybody got a line. And I think his line was like, now, so what? Don't be telling people that I'm knocking you down. You know what I mean? And shadows.
Kawhi literally, can you imagine what it looked? Do y'all be picturing people having coitus? I do. All the time. When I see couples, I be like, Like, I wonder if we look like we fuck. You know, like, or do we look like we getting it in?
Who ain't?
Do we look like we getting it in? But, like, in real life, Hannah and Nick, it looks so weird.
I was surprised. I was shocked when she said it. But then I also
But I wasn't shocked. Because I'm like, he put that leg up in there?
How?
With them feet?
We were the same size. And I'm talking about me and Hannah, not me and Nick.
And I'm only coming at her, y'all, because... the way that she spoke about herself was in a way to deprecate others. And if y'all don't see it like that, you put your glasses on. Because
also, she offered all of the commentary on her physical that we are commenting on was initiated by her.
And she centered it.
I would have never said nothing about the girl's appearance had she not led with... I'm having a hard time with his appearance. And
I agree.
Girl, are you for real?
And not to say that she has to settle. Because I would argue her and Alex have the same body shape.
Yes, pretty
much. I would argue that.
Yes.
And I think Alex is a baddie.
And I think that would be
a straight up
accurate.
baddie.
I think it's accurate.
You know what I mean? I think it's your energy. I think your energy is
but in your mouth. Alex is not talking about...
she just is a baddie.
But Alex never came out and said... oh, I'm comparing myself to Saweetie. You know what I mean? Me and her look the same.
Which she's does
never
look
said
like
anything
somebody,
like
y'all.
that.
She does look somebody, and I cannot think about who it is. So y'all bust in and tell me who y'all think Alex looks like. She looks just like someone, and I just can't think of it. But you're right. She didn't come out and say that, and she could have said she looked like such and such because she's like when I saw her, I thought. Then I said, "Oh my gosh, she's beautiful."
It just could have never been, Taylor Swift.
But she also
or Beyonce.
didn't lead with that energy.
No.
She did not lead with, I need you to know what I look like.
No.
She almost kind of made it like that was a, back seat kind of thing. Like, which I appreciated because this is Love is Blind.
Right.
You wanted people to know that you were, in my town, I always dated the quarterback. You wanted people to know that. So then they could start creating this vision of who they think you are. Little did they know Fiona the Ogre was walking through the door. You know what I mean? And I don't, y'all gonna eat me up about it, and I don't care. I don't care. Her back is big, okay? And guess what? She lost the weight. The back is still big. And my thing is like, I don't like when people are mean. I don't like when people are nasty. I think it's weird to get on these Love is Blind, Married at First Sight type of shows and then center looks. You're a weirdo for that.
You literally, it's in the name.
It's in the name. And I think you're a weirdo for that. So, High King, I'm going to treat you like a weirdo. Inversely, Nick don't know who he look like. He Henry Cavill. Like, have you seen Henry Cavill? Superman? You look like Superman. Like, baby, his delusion is different. But his delusion to me did not deprecate her.
No, not at all.
And that's why I'm not doing too much on him because you saw him and all y'all wanted to talk about was his height. Monica too. Oh, he got big energy, but then he come in the room and he all short. Okay, and so do Kevin Hart. So do a plenty of short men that live in the world and make millions and millions of dollars or whatever they doing. They got big energy.
But what's weird is you got some nerve, Hannah. It just was weird. Like
it was just beyond weird. And it was manipulative.
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn what nobody say. And her whole energy is like the baddest. When it's really given...
Which is wild to me.
The exact opposite of that. Whatever it is, it ain't. He goes on Ride the Ducks. She gets annoyed. She said, if you ride the duck, I'm going to get the ick. I'm so tired of young women. It ain't even funny, y'all. He on a resort. Have y'all been on a resort?
But also, y'all ain't doing nothing. So I saw his attempt to get up and do something with like as an attempt to be active. You know what I mean? You sitting here on a resort dressed in all black, fully like, are you going to a conference meeting?
It's slimming.
What are you doing? But you Taylor Swift, let you tell it. So this is your own words. So the truth of the matter
is, she did look cute in that clip. I'm gonna give her that with the glasses.
No, she
I
looked
saw
out
you,
of
boo.
place. She looked out of place. You in full blown black. You know what I mean? From the neck down. On a resort, the beach is right here. You know what I mean? He's in a bathing suit. He got trunks on or whatever. You know what I mean? So it was an attempt to be active and to do something fun or whatever. He gets up, he does it. He doesn't, mind you, he doesn't solicit anybody else's interaction. The old lady come by just being, first of all, have you been on a resort? Have you been outside?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Especially in a place like that where people are
friendly. They're on vacation.
Yes, so they're far more apt to interject in your conversation or whatever. You know what I mean? I sat at the goddamn bar and watched a whole football game with a man I did not know on my phone. This is what being on vacation is. You know what I mean? So the old lady comes by, she hops on the joint with him. They doing the whole thing, riding it. That was just a funny moment. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But your insecurity shined through. So now you got a problem with him.
And she clocked it. Don't be jealous.
First of all, that was hilarious. She gave her the Matumbo finger wag.
Which I love. Clocked her immediately.
Straight up. And rest in peace to Matumbo. So
no, for real.
I think that it was just telling that you found issue with him going over there, which was one, she was doing the Alex thing of, well, don't do this, don't do that. If you get on the dub or whatever the duck, I'm gonna have the ick. Why? Why would you have the ick from this man just being playful and trying? Y'all film 1,000 hours a day. According to other people, y'all not eating food. Y'all don't know each other. You're still trying to. Why would you snuff these people's light when they're trying to bring a vibe to the situation? That's always weird to me. And then another lady comes in. She's just being, the lady did nothing inappropriate. Nothing, at least that we saw or whatever. So she took issue with the lady and she took issue with him and then took it back to the girls and then added yeast to the situation. Like she even said, the lady said, she put words in the lady's mouth.
She added sauce and everything.
Lying.
Girl,
the lady told me I'm gonna take your man or something. She added some BS to the story.
Like, she didn't
it
say
just
that.
made her come across as even more unlikable to me, and I just had a real issue with that.
But what did she say? So they were getting dressed. She says, "Oh, we don't look like we're together."
Yeah,
and I'm thinking it ain't because he don't look fly. I thought he looked fly as hell.
He look fine. Y'all don't look like y'all together because y'all don't look like y'all are together. Y'all could have had matching t-shirt and pants, and you still would not have looked like you're together.
And in her defense, to me, based on what I know what she looks like now, I think he would be a good match. If we're just talking about looks, I could see it. So there was I guess, like I said, a square. Leo, Hannah, Nick, Brittany. Brittany is a young woman who says she can seduce people with her eyes.
Slow up on the young. Brittany's a liar. I don't know how old Brittany is.
Why do you think she look like a young woman to me?
Look at her. Nothing about...
She's an aspiring trophy wife.
Brittany is a
who
liar.
Thought she would find a man to treat her like a trophy on Love is Blind.
But Brittany is a liar. I don't know how old Brittany is because...
Why do you think she's a liar?
Well, let's start with... She led with, I can get... any man to I can seduce any man and get them to want to marry me. Well, why are you on this show then?
Let's
at
start
40
there.
years old.
We also gotta stop with the a lot of people say that though.
But we're not talking about a lot of people. We're talking about Brittany. So that's what I'm saying. That made me feel like
that's
you're
not
lying.
What I'm saying. I'm saying that I hear that often, and I'm always like, and not because I also am big on like catching a man is not your top goal, right? But if you've been in all these relationships and it was so easy for you to snap these men up and you are not in a partnership by now, it looks like you're the problem.
It looks like you're lying. You know what I'm saying? Because if you actually, men who have their pick of the litter aren't single. They just aren't. So when you come on here and you go, I can have any man I want, then you wouldn't be on here,
Joe,
sis.
that is a really good point.
It's just you would not be on here. You know what I mean? And so I just didn't like that. Her whole essence is like, I'm above this. No, you're on the same show with Hannah, which is really why you had a problem with Nick or Leo, because the fact that they had to think about whether or not it was going to be you or Hannah, and you could see Hannah and they couldn't.
And you was burnt up.
And the truth of the matter is that burned you up. Mm-hmm. I just don't like nothing about Brittany.
And then Hannah kind of made it like she was doing her a favor by breaking it off with Leah.
You can have them now. And I know that burned Brittany up even more. Because to Brittany's defense, she's probably normally never in competition with a Hannah. Ever. Right?
Ever.
In the real world. But you're not in the real world. You're on a show called Love is Blind because you're single and you're looking for a man. So don't come in here
but
like
then you came in here to look
this.
for a man. You're looking for a very specific man, a man that can make you a trophy wife.
And he's not on Love is Blind.
Why would you think?
But that's what I mean by you're a liar. You know what I mean? I can get anybody I want. You're not on a show that says that though.
You're not on a show that says that. It's the exact opposite. Like, but also then go get them. Go get them. And it's very odd. Like, oh, I usually can just seduce people to get them to do what I want. And then you crying about how you be with men and then they be with other men. Can you seduce them or can't you, baby? Or can you just seduce them? And then that's it.
I just don't like when people come on shows where they're needing for strangers to hook them up to another stranger and then pontificate about how they can get anybody they want.
Then go get them.
You wouldn't be here.
She really, really rubbed me the wrong way, Brittany. And it was such a lack of awareness, but which made me also feel randomly that Leo was really good for him. Because if there's a human on planet Earth that lacks awareness, self-awareness, it is Leo.
Not less than 1,000%.
Like he lacks, like imagine when that man said he is in this process because he wants women to want him for him and not what he
lies.
what he has, as if this man is like, you would see that man and never think, even if he had on a Rolex, wouldn't think he was worth anything.
You would think it was fake. If I saw his Rolex, I would think it was fake, just from the way he speaks and the way he moves.
Literally,
because I've been around people with money and they don't move like him.
It's quiet.
They just don't. They just do not move. And nobody who is rich tells you that they're rich. Nobody. I don't care if it's a rapper that's saying it, he's lying, he's broke. You know what I mean? If it's your favorite athlete or actor, also broke. It just doesn't happen. People with wealth do not go around bragging about their wealth, except for Floyd Mayweather. He's the only one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's because he's small.
True.
You know what I mean?
But he's the only one who's like legitimately one of the richest athletes in the world who brags about it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. He's an anomaly. It just actually doesn't happen. So for him to be on a show talking about how I'm just nervous about people wanting me because most women, I'm nervous about most women wanting me for my money when nobody would know. You're not in a profession where anybody would know what you do and if you had money anyway, unless you told them.
Nobody even know what the hell an art dealer does. You act like you out here selling diamonds. Because then you know Mother Jump. When we was watching Love Island,
even those people have to tell you what their profession is.
But he was you don't even look.
A weirdo.
He was full stop a weirdo. Leo is going back and forth between Brittany and Hannah. Hannah is doing Brittany a favor by saying, "Girl, I don't even want him. I'm gonna just stick with Nick." Even though she stopped talking to Nick, but then she realized I'm not gonna be on the show because I know what Brittany looked like, and he would be stupid not to pick Brittany. But I'm gonna Jedi mind trick her into thinking that I'm doing her a favor. That's really what happened.
I think that's a perfect summary.
And then she went back to Nick and then started acting like, meh, 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 meh. And then Nick's stupid, so he picked her up because he's just as delusional as her ass is. And then he was like, okay, let's get together. You know, Leo wanted to keep his options open as well. So he was like, oh no, I'm gonna string everybody out to the last minute. What he really wanted was extra filming time, and you're not gonna get me to believe otherwise.
And they told him no. And I'm really proud of the producers of Love is Blind for that, because we don't see, I think they are not the first couple who just decided to get together for the good of the check. They're not the first couple. They're just the first couple that got caught. Yes. Because the producer saw, I think the producer saw that their relationship lacked legitimacy.
Yes.
They went through the whole pomp and circumstance of meeting each other and everything like that. And I mean, it was palpable. You could tell they had the chemistry of oil and water. You could just tell that they were not into each other.
I think he was into her.
I don't think he was into her at all. And I think the producers agreed with that. And they said, you know what? Y'all are not doing this, because they did the actual meetup ceremony and still got refused. That's unprecedented. This has never really happened before.
Yeah, like they filmed all of that. They
filmed all that and said, y'all go home. That means that the illegitimacy of their relationship was palpable in the place. And to the point where the producers was like, y'all are not doing this. Go home.
But it's important to note that there are couples that do meet in the pods that don't get filmed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's important to note that, you know what I mean? And then after the fact, when they were told that they weren't coming on the trip, and they were not going to film them any longer, they went to Miami because she asked him to take her to Miami or whatever the case may be.
Because she was going to get a meal out of it.
The whole shit was weird as hell.
Really weird.
But I also, if I'm being honest, it gave the energy it deserved. Leo was a weirdo, and he really wasn't here for the right reasons, and neither was shit.
Brittany. Brittany wanted to be on TV, and she was doing a bad job of selling it. She's a bad actor. Even when he was sitting there, you know, describing what ring he was going to buy her, she's like, oh yeah, that's my favorite.
She fell asleep.
I can't believe you knew. I mean, the words was not matching the body language at all. Oh, you know me so well.
I know.
It was terrible.
It was
But
creepy.
I think that's part of why the production was like, this is BS. Because they could she's a bad actor.
Yeah, it was
so
creepy.
The whole like, oh, I'm into it. Yeah, I would say yes. First of all, she broke up with him and then he proposed and then she said yes.
No, literally.
I don't know if we buried
that was the order of the event.
That was literally what happened. She wrote him a letter. She wrote him a letter in the letter, she was breaking up with him. She broke up with him, and he was like, well, I still want to read my letter because he just wants to be on the show real bad.
Yep.
So
but why he want to be on the show so bad? He got so much money.
Because he's a liar. That's my point. Like, if you've ever been around somebody with actual wealth, the one thing they don't brag about is the money that they have. But it just doesn't happen.
Even more than that, their time is now the most precious commodity. So if you did, let's say you are this wealthy and you come on this show, it doesn't feel like you're wasting time. Like your time could be better spent servicing other avenues of your wealth. He could have hired a matchmaker on his own. He's so wealthy.
You so rich. Why wouldn't you do that?
Go get the millionaire matchmaker. She out there somewhere. Patty Stanger, where are you?
Right. It just gave fraudulence to me. It just reeked of
which is weird, fakeness. Joe. In the same way that Leo need to get the millionaire matchmaker, so does Brittany. Because she takes on women to be matched to these millionaire men, or vice versa.
Brittany needs to go somewhere. I don't know. Brittany don't need a husband. Brittany needs a job.
Brittany's an esthetician. She doing waxes and stuff.
She need a job.
Or facials. I don't even believe she doing that, y'all.
I don't believe that either.
I don't even believe she doing that. And also, if you were so good at the art of seduction, why weren't we seduced? You know what I mean?
Nobody was seduced.
Nobody.
Not even Leo.
That's the thing. Like, I think that, like,
Leo was not into you.
When you have like charisma, we all could feel it. Like,
yeah, that's when I said she was a liar. I meant it. Like, we've all been around that person who you could just tell everybody likes this person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Me.
Brittany is, and Brittany is not that at all.
Yeah, she's giving, she's a pretty girl in the room.
But also, the people who have options, y'all. We just got finished talking about somebody like this, right? A clip went viral of Common and Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, God.
I didn't even know that Common was dating Jennifer Hudson. Zar makes the comment, Common's a whore or something like that. And
yes, I did.
And I said, no, Common's not a whore. He's just a serial dater, which he is, because Common he's just a man with options, right? And most men with options who are not whores are just monogamous. They're just always in a relationship. Even when I talked about, speaking from experience, when I talked about falling into relationships, when there were periods of time where I wanted to be single and I just couldn't be because somebody would just tell me that I was in a relationship, right? I feel like this is Common's life, right? Because he's a person who has options all the time, but he's just not in the streets. So you just end up in an actual monogamous relationship with somebody else, right? If you are this is the person that Brittany is claiming to be, right? You're not even single for long periods of time. You're just not. You're just one of those people who end up.
But there's something diabolical about being that person that we bury the lead on, because the truth of the matter is, yeah, you could fall into relationships, but the thing with Common is that he knows it's not going anywhere.
I don't want to go down this is another video about Common. Not too much on Common. The point is, Brittany is claiming to be in the same predicament. Oh, I just always have options. If you were the person who always had options, this wouldn't even be an option. You wouldn't even have time to be on the show because your boyfriend would be like, you're not doing that show.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
You're a rich boyfriend.
This is my point. Your very rich boyfriend would be like, no, you're not going on that show.
But who leads with, I date athletes.
Liars.
I think that's weird. I think it's weird. I think you date men. And then
I'm going to be honest.
You talk to your girlfriends about what their profession is. But it's like, they all the same.
But those type of people are in a very particular profession.
What you mean?
If you know what I mean.
But I don't know what you mean.
They're escorts.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're a working girl. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm like.
I don't know.
You're giving you're a working girl.
I think she's given that she is used to certain things from certain people, but you decided to come on a show where you marry a stranger. So this is silly. You know what I mean? If it was, because the truth of the matter is, are you trying to put yourself to the test to see if you could be in a space where everything is not about your looks? I don't even believe that. I believe you're upset that you're in. You just needed a reason to get on TV.
I believe you're here because you want to be on TV.
That's all I believe.
You know what I mean? But in the real world, you're not that it girl. You're a working girl. If we being honest.
No, Joe, don't do that. I don't like that.
I don't care if you like it. That's why I said if you know, because she's painting the picture. You know what I mean?
No, she's not. Just because she want to date a man with a certain status. No, she's not.
Yes, she is painting the picture.
No, she's not. Who want to be with a broke?
She led with. Nobody said anything about somebody being broke. Why is that the only alternative?
It ain't.
That's what I'm saying. She led with, well, I'm only dating athletes and MMA fighters and boxers. She led with all of that. You know what I mean? You could have just came on the show and said, you know what? In my dating life, I might, because I'm, aesthetically pleasing, I typically have options, but I want to do better, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's people have said it.
She could have said it in a way.
She led with the whole escort resume.
Joe, please leave me the hell alone.
I literally said, if you know, you know. And then she said what? I don't know.
I really didn't understand what you were saying.
Now I explained it. Now you know.
The point is, good riddance. Get them out of here. Both Brittany and Leo did not make it, and I think it was for the better.
Kudos to production, because I think that too many times in these shows, these people make it through. I think it happened last season.
And they're trying to get away from people in these inauthentic interactions that in social media, it blows up. I would almost believe that there's something in either one of their past, a person or somebody, situationship, whatever the case may be, that they found out about that they like, no, because this is going to mimic Wreck-It Ralph from last season.
No, I think it's factual. In the past couple years of multiple different shows, after the show has ended, we have found out about a fraudulent one or two people or one or two couples.
Yeah.
I think at this point, they have to hire a quality control person on staff for casting. I think that they have to hire somebody whose sole job is to vet the legitimacy of these people wanting to be on the show and be in a relationship versus them wanting to get a brand deal with Metro PCS after the show ends. They have to hire, because there's too many, we've seen too many instances where people come on the show, they F boys and girls throughout the whole time, and then they end up in a commercial. And it's worth it.
Oh, no, Leo is going to be on whatever island that is or whatever else they produce. He's going to be on there. And he's going to be talking about his Rolex, and he's going to be swimming in the water with it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not enough consequence of when we find out. Because the one girl from last season that is on the Metro PCS commercial, we knew she was a BS artist when we met her. But she was cute.
With the baby.
And they went with the baby.
Y'all shouldn't even have allowed her on.
But that's what I mean. And I think that they're starting to rectify their mistakes.
You would marry a stranger and you got a whole daughter?
I think they're starting to rectify their mistakes to the past. And this situation with Leo and Brittany was them taking the first step in the right direction of saying, we're not doing this no more. If y'all want to come on here
and making it a point to tell us about it.
Social media influencers, you go do that. But that's not what this show is about. And I'm glad that kudos to them.
I am too. So I'm tired. I got to go fry my man some chicken. I'm making some buffalo wings tonight. What y'all cooking for dinner? Thank y'all for joining us again. I'm your girl, Intisar Eleanor. Is anything that you were thinking about? Any questions that you had? Anything you got to say, you better put it on pen and paper. Let me stop. You better let us know down below, because we want to know exactly how you felt about these 6 episodes. Jesus Christ. That's Joe. I'm Zar. And we'll see you all later.